Hi and welcome to today's video tutorial. Today I'm going to show how I knitted this really beautiful vest with this pattern. So if you'd like to see how I did that, just keep on watching. So first, here's the yarn that I used. And now we're just going to cast on some stitches. And I'm using a 3.5mm knitting needle. So first I just made a knot like this. And then I have some yarn on one side. And then I'm going to cast on my stitches. So this is the way that I do it, as you can see here. And I continued doing this until I had 152 stitches. So now for the next round we're going to join them because we're going to knit in a circle. So what I do is I just go ahead and knit in the very first stitch, as you can see here. And we're going to do some rib stitching. So that means we're going to do 2 knit stitches as I just did, and now 2 purl stitches as I'm doing here. And then we're just going to repeat that sequence all the way around. So 2 knit again. And then 2 purl. And you just want to continue doing this all the way around. So here, for the third round, we're just going to do knit stitches above knit stitches and purl stitches above purl stitches. And that is going to create our lines down at the rib edge of our vest. As you can see here, the lines are starting to create. So I did a total of 15 rows with just rib stitching. You can do how many you like. That is totally up to you. So now we're going to knit with some more colors, because we're going to knit this pattern right here, which I've drawn. And the black I'm going to knit with grey. And red and green is just the same. So for the first row of knitting the pattern, we're only going to be knitting grey, so as you can see here on my drawing, for the first round we only have grey, and then we have 11 white stitches between the next grey. And also for in the first row I'm going to do a decrease of 8 stitches, and I just kind of do that randomly around the first row. So I will knit about 10 stitches and then do a decrease, and just repeat that until I have decreased 8 times. So my stitch count is going to be 144, and that is going to fit with the pattern that I have drawn. So now here I knit 11 white stitches, and then now we're just going to do knit stitches, and that's what we're going to do for the rest of this vest. So this is what it looks like. And now we're gonna do another grey. Just like that. And now I just pull the grey thread just a little so it doesn't get too tight. And I'm going to do that all through this project with every color. So that was the first bit right here. So now we're just going to repeat this sequence all the way around. So now here I make my first decrease. So you can just go into knit 2 stitches together. That is how you do decrease. And then when you have done 11, you're just gonna do a gray stitch again, like this, and pull the thread a little bit in the back. So you just want to repeat the sequence all the way around. And remember to do the decreases. So now here for the next round we're going to also use the red and the green yarn. So here you can see we're going to have so here is where I'm going to start, where the little tail is. It's where we know we're going to start the next round. So first we're going to knit white on top of the gray, just as in the drawing, like this. And then the next stitch we're going to do gray, just like this. And then we're going to do 4 white stitches, and then we're going to attach the red. So I just pull that through and then I make a little knot. Just like that. And then we're gonna do 4 white stitches. And then we're gonna do a gray and a white and a gray. And remember to pull the threads just a little bit. And then 4 more white, and then we're going to attach the green thread and just knit 1 stitch with it. Just like that. So you just want to repeat this sequence all the way around, and now when your red and green is attached, you can just knit with them. I can show you that in a second what it looks like with the red thread. So just like we're doing with the gray, we're just going to pull it because it already is attached to our work. So here I just knit 4 stitches, and then I'm going to knit another red. So I just take it up and knit it like that. Just like this. So now you can just go ahead and repeat this sequence and complete this round. So now for the next round, we're just gonna keep following the pattern on our drawing. So you can see here, this is where we start our round, so it's gonna be looking a little odd, but it doesn't really matter because that's going to be in the side of our vest, so it's going to be under our arm, so you're not really going to be noticing it, so don't worry about that. So now we're going to knit 3 red stitches, just like this, and then we have 2 white and a gray, and then 3 white and a gray, and pulling the threads, and then we have 2 white stitches, and then we're going to have 3 green stitches. So you can see here it's beginning to form. Just like this. This is what it looks like. You should want to repeat this sequence all the way around, just following the drawing. And after that we're going to do the next rounds, just completing this first half of my drawing. So you're going to do the first squares of the red and green like this. You can tool here. So now I finished the first round of my pattern repeat, and this is what it looks like. It's really easy just following the pattern with the colors. So now for the next round, I'm going to do a red above the green and a green above the red, just like you can see in the drawing. So now I just continued on knitting until my work was about 22 centimeters long. So these yellow threads, they mark half of the stitches. So that means we have 72 stitches on each side of the yellow threads. So now we know where we're going to close the stitches for the armhole. So now I'm going to close 4 stitches before the yellow threads and 4 stitches after. So that is a total of closing 8 stitches in each side. And that is what I'm doing here. This is how I close stitches. You just you knit one and pull it over the next one you knit like this. It's really easy to do. So just like this. So now I have closed 8 stitches. So now I'm just going to knit all the way to the other side, to the other yellow thread. And 4 stitches before I'm going to stop knitting, and then I'm going to close 8 stitches like I just did. And then we're going to knit all the way back right here to where we start closing the stitches. I'm going to meet you up at that point after completing this round. So now I have closed the 8 stitches on each side, and we're going to knit the back side. So now we're going to be knitting in the inside of the vest. So that means we're just going to be doing rows of purl stitches instead of knit stitches in every other row. I'm going to show you that right here. And now for the first row, we're going to close 3 stitches on each side. That means we're going to knit 2 stitches together 3 times like this. And I'm doing it with a purl stitch because we're doing it on the inside. And one more, just like that. Now I've closed 3 stitches. So now I'm just going to knit all the way to the other side and following the pattern. And then I'm going to stop when there is 6 stitches left. So we can close 3 stitches on the other side as well, and as we just did in the beginning of this row. Just wanna keep doing the pattern. Like you can see here, following the pattern, and knit to the other side and until there's 6 stitches left. So now here I have 6 stitches, and I'm going to close them like this, so it had 2 and 2 together, just like that. So now we've closed 3 stitches. For the next round, we're just going to close 2 stitches on each side. And I'm doing that with a knit stitch because it's in the front. And we're going to knit this row with knit stitches. So that is what I'm doing here, and I'm keep following the pattern. Now I'm going to knit all the way to the other side until there's 4 stitches left, and then we're going to close them. So that is here. We're just going to close these 2 stitches by knitting them together. Just like that. So now we're done with the decreases of the back side. So now we're just going to continue knitting back and forth. And here you can see how the closing looks. Now you're just going to knit back and forth the back side and through the front side. Continue knitting a couple of rows, as you can see I've done here. So I've knitted for about an additional 15 centimeters here on the back side. And now I'm going to close it and also do the shoulders. So I'm going to knit 12 stitches and following the pattern. So when you have your 12 stitches, then you're going to close 29 stitches and knit the last 12 stitches. And here you can see I'm just closing it with white yarn. So now I'm done closing. I'm just going to knit the last 12 stitches. So now I'm done closing. So now I'm going to just knit the last 12 stitches of this row. Just like that. So now I'm going to knit the shoulders separately, and here I'm just going to show you the first one. So you're going to just knit the first 8 stitches and keep following the pattern. And then you're going to close 2 stitches towards the neck, just like this. And now for the next row, we're going to start with closing 2 stitches. Like that. And then we're going to knit the last 6 stitches. Just like that. And now we're just going to close all 8 stitches. And now when you're done with the first shoulder, you're just going to repeat what we just did on the other shoulder as well. So now it looks like this, and we're going to do the front side. So first I'm just going to attach my white yarn. And here on the screen you can see what we're going to do for the next rows. So first we're going to close 3 stitches, and then we're going to knit 16 stitches and keep following the pattern. So now we're going to close up the stitches in the middle, and that is about 27 stitches. So I'm just gonna close them. And when there's 22 stitches left, then we're just going to knit the first 16, and then we're going to end the row of closing 3 stitches, just like when we started this row. and then close the last 3 stitches by knitting 2 and 2 together, just like that. So that was the first row. So now the sides are going to be knitted separately. So I'm just going to show you the side over here where our yarn is attached. So now for the second row, we're going to start the row with closing 2 stitches, like this, by knitting 2 and 2 together. Then I'm going to knit the 10 stitches in the middle and end the row with closing off 2 stitches towards the neck. So in the end of this row, we're going to have 14 stitches. And then closing the last 4 stitches by knitting 2 and 2 together. So for row number 3, we're just going to knit all of the stitches, so that is all 14 stitches, and keep following the pattern. Just like this. So now we're going to do row number 4. So now we're going to knit 10 stitches, and then we're going to close 2 stitches towards the neck. And for row number 5, we're just going to knit all 12 stitches and keep following the pattern. For row number 6, we're going to knit 8 stitches, and then we're going to close 2 stitches. So we have 10 stitches. And for row number 7, we're just going to knit all 10 stitches. And for row number 8, we're going to knit the first 6 stitches, and then we're going to close 2 more stitches towards the neck, so we have 8 stitches. And when you're done with that, we're just going to knit these 8 stitches for about 16 centimeters and repeat that on the other side as well. So now when you've done that, you have something that looks like this. So if you end up having these little holes just like I did, don't worry, you can just sew them together just with a needle and thread to close them up. That sometimes happens when you knit with different colors. So now we're just going to sew these straps on the to the shoulders, as you can see here. They've been sewn together on the inside. You can do this by sewing it on a sewing machine or just by hand sewing it. So now the last step is to knit some rib edges. So I've already done the neck rib and one of the armhole rib edges. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So I'm going to start down here in the middle under the arm, and I start by just making a little knot, and I use a crochet hook to make the stitches just because I find it the fastest way to do it. So I just go in through these little loops and I just pull the thread out to make these little new stitches, just like that. And then I pull out my crochet hook and I can just catch them with my crochet hook, with my crochet needle, like with my knitting needle. And then I'm just gonna do this all the way around, and you want to make sure you have an equal number. And I had 72 stitches on my 2 armhole edges, and I had 116 stitches in the neckline. But you can do how many you like, it just have to be an equal number, so you can knit the rib stitching, which is exactly the same as when we started. You're just going to do 2 purl stitches and 2 knit stitches and repeat that and do them on top of each other to create lines. And I did 4 rows in the arm lines, and I did about 8 rows in the neckline. But you can do how many you prefer. That is just what I did. So you can see the lines here. Just want to repeat that all the way around, as you can see here on the other arm. This is what it's going to look like. So when you've done that, then your project is completely done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial, and I hope you're going to try it out. If you do try it out, feel free to contact me on my Instagram by DMing me and send me a photo of your creation.